on Eternal Conversations, we have Slade, my son Slade. His kindergarten teacher said that he was the smartest kid that she ever seen, the most advanced student she had seen in 15 years. And he was the smartest kid at Montessori school. And he does better than all the other kids at school, or most of the other kids at school.
No, I don't. They have like 3 other gifted people from my school. Actually, more than 3. They have 3 in 3rd grade.
And he's in gifted and
What I want to be when I grow up.
Yeah, so what do you want to be when you grow up?
A famous YouTuber.
A famous YouTuber. So you'd rather be a famous YouTuber than an astronaut?
Yes.
Oh, and how old are you right now?
8.
You might want to talk a little louder into the microphone. Yeah.
Can you hear me good?
Yep. Yep, it's my son Slade. We had so much fun, when we went riding in the Chaffalaya Basin in the Louisiana rivers.
And I have a YouTube channel with 215 subscribers. So make sure to find that annotation on the screen somewhere and just click it. And then it'll be my channel. It's going to be kind of easy to find because it's going to be in blue coloring.
Okay.
It says Slade's channel, so it's not going to be too hard to find it.
Is that the name of it, Slade's channel?
No, it's called Slade.
Okay.
The annotation is going to say Slade's channel.
And so, make sure.
You make sure to subscribe to me if you have a YouTube channel. And if you don't have a YouTube channel, make sure to make one and subscribe to me. And watch my videos. You don't have to subscribe if you like my videos.
So let's talk about something very strange. So out of all your videos, your most viewed video is a video of you doing nothing.
My second one is my channel trailer.
And then I asked you last night, I said, what's your second most viewed video? The other video of me doing nothing.
but I'll still say that's the second video, but the real second video is my channel. My second most viewed is my channel trailer, but that doesn't really count because it's people like watching my channel trailer because they like see my channel trailer. They're forced to watch it every time someone clicks my channel.
Oh, you think that's why?
Yeah, because that's why my second one, my channel
well,
trailer.
You had a pretty good theory last night, though. You said that
my channel trailer is an old video.
You said that you named it a certain time and date, and that people find it interesting to find a certain time. When they look up stuff and they see a certain time and the date, they're like, well, what happened on this date? Kind of thing.
But that's kind of not really what I did. I just started recording and then I just started doing stuff like that a normal person would do, just bored at their desk with the computer in front of them recording. And they can't watch a YouTube video.
Oh,
because they're recording.
Yeah.
And they want to know, like, that's what he did at 5:15 or 5:49 for a minute or 30 seconds. The video is 30 seconds.
Yeah. And so, well, that's pretty cool. So, who's your favorite YouTuber?
Jacksepticeye.
Oh yeah, I like Smosh. That's probably my favorite. But Jacksepticeye is pretty cool too. Why do you like Jacksepticeye so much?
I don't really know why.
Because you think it's just funny and entertaining.
Yeah.
Playing video games, the most entertaining one.
There's a lot of other YouTubers, but there's something about Jacksepticeye that I like the most out of all of them. Cause I like to watch PewDiePie sometimes.
Yeah.
But how did he get 47 million subscribers? He currently has 47 million subscribers.
Oh, well, I don't know.
I
personally don't think he's the funniest, but
that's your opinion.
Yeah.
He kind of does clickbait a little.
Oh,
But like you said earlier, that the more subscribers they get, it's the easier it is for you to get subscribers.
I seem to think that must be the case that like the more subscribers you get,
there's
the
another
more,
really funny video.
the more you
He
like get
does
spread out.
edit a lot. There's a really funny video that he made recently that I watched. You should check it out.
Oh, okay.
Cause how long are you gonna be podcasting?
Oh, I don't know, maybe like an hour. It doesn't matter.
There's
Sure.
gonna be a lot of editing
Why?
because it's an hour-long video.
So no editing, just whatever we say, you know.
But you need to do some editing. Like what I said earlier about the annotation
Oh yeah.
that was like right here somewhere on the screen.
Yeah.
Stay there again like that. Well,
So you know what I need to do is get you started on programming languages. So Roger sent me a program. So you've been programming HTML. One day my son Slade said, "Hey Dad, come see." And I went and looked, and he was changing and reprogramming HTML to change everything on the screen. And like
one time I deleted a whole entire HTML. Actually, one time I mixed Google's HTML with YouTube's HTML. So I had a theme on, so the background was a certain picture and it was all custom. And the background is white and they had like all these weird things. It was really weird. I mixed up Google with YouTube. One time I deleted a whole entire HTML.
Oh.
And there's just a blank white page.
Yeah, and I was like, man. And then I asked you, I said, well, how did you do that? How did you learn how to do that? I don't know. I just started messing with it and did it. And I was like, what? And see, three of my uncles are been computer programming specialists for like 30 years, like program computers.
I noticed that with like something, a lot of things to do with the internet, like changing stuff. Because on YouTube, the second I saw the editing things, I knew how to put annotations and all that. I knew how to put words on the screen. I knew how to put closed captions. I just knew it. I knew how to put background music, and now I already know a whole bunch of stuff about Pinnacle Studio, and I barely even use it.
I keep changing the microphone volume because sometimes it's going too loud, you know. You gotta just be careful.
Because I'm doing like this, and
Yeah, you gotta be careful because
I'm trying to get a little far away.
it won't sound good, you know. You gotta get the right.
Yeah, it'll be like really, really loud, and people with headphones are gonna be like, "Oh my god!"
The sweet spot, you know.
Like right here for me.
Okay. Yeah, and just like when we gave you an iPad for the first time,
I was
I
already
just like,
recording
here you go,
video.
and just you already knew what to do, you know.
When I was like 3 years old, they had this program called what was it called? I can't remember. It was so long since I last.
I know, me too. I don't know.
Cam.
No. Mommy always says it, but I can't quite remember. But you know, it's one thing that's mind-blowing, though, is that what I always think is that, so I got to see the computer, not completely from the beginning, but from the early 80s, like Atari and stuff, go from Atari to regular Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Nintendo 64, PlayStation, Xbox, and then of course there's a lot of other ones in between. But to Xbox One now, GTA 5 and all that stuff, and then now there's better game, and there's way better games now on the computer
That are free.
That are for free. That used to cost. We used to pay $50 a game.
$100, like half $100
for regular Nintendo, like $50 a game, and it might
for
not,
a little pixelated game.
and it might not even be
just a little
good.
character
Might,
running
and then
across
sometimes
the
it wasn't
screen.
even good. So it's just big. I'd have to mow like push mow like 10 lawns, knock on people's doors, say come cut your grass and get $5 a lawn, and then spend all that time and effort to go buy a game, and it wouldn't even be good. Now there's like literally millions of games, seemingly infinite amount of games for free on the computer, like Happy Wheels. That's super good. And and the thing is, nowadays on it, you just play a game. You don't like it, oh well,
find another free one that's
go
like
to the next
like
one. Go to the next one.
like there's some online games that like, oh, that one's bad, I'm gonna go find another one. Into a Wild Star online, you could talk to people, you could go battle enemies, first person 3D. You could make your own characters all in 3D, and it's all crazy, and you could buy things, and it's all crazy, and just a really good game, and it's completely free.
Yeah.
And then the little $50 games are little pixelated characters running across the screen, jumping on Goombas.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Mario was pretty fun, dude. It was worth the money.
But
even though it's just a little pixel, kind of like Minecraft, it's a pixelated game, but it's fun.
But it's still
Terraria.
But
Terraria.
But Minecraft is not just pixelated. It's not flat. It's 3D.
Oh yeah, that's true. But see, the games that I grew up being used to 2D games, but you grew up being used to 3D games. So it's harder for the kids that. It's actually, I heard, harder for some kids to play 2D games. Like, you can't play Mario because it's too hard for you.
Because I'm used to.
Because you don't understand
I'm always used to being able to run around in a wide open area, jumping on top of things and shooting people in Call of Duty.
Yeah.
Instead of like jumping 3D, and you have to press the sideways button to go forward, and then use the sideways button always be in the either going left or right.
Yeah. But what I was gonna say too is that one thing that's super mind blowing to me is that. So I once thought of this. I once thought I'll probably never live to see the year 2100. I'm pretty sure about that.
Unless something happens and you could live forever.
128. Yeah, I'd be 128 years old, and I kind of doubt.
When I'm 100,
but I said, my son Slade was born 2007, so he'll be 93 in the year 2100. That's very possible, and so imagine. Like the technological advances from, say, when I was a kid in the early 80s to now, or even from the early 80s to 2000. But everyone knows how fast technology moves now. It's unbelievable.
Like in 2100, you're probably going to be able to press a button and you're going to go straight to Texas.
Yeah, you can like text
Texas from Canada.
I mean, we can't imagine. Nobody could really imagine. You could probably like text yourself, or something like that. I mean, if you could text images and videos now,
then you could like.
It's foreseeable that you could text objects or something, or send objects.
Yeah, you could have this. You could have this little plate looking thing. Put whatever you want to send on there, and then you go to like Google Maps and see where you want to send it to, and you could just send it. You could send it to the middle of the North Pole. It's just gonna teleport straight there.
Yeah, I know.
Like who knows?
I mean, there's no. Just like somebody said.
And then like in the year 2100, there's probably gonna be video games. And you'd be like, that doesn't look realistic to games like GTA and stuff.
Just like one of Joe Rogan's bits was that he said, yeah, in the 70s, if you told people that, in the future they would be able to text pictures and videos invisibly through the air. And be able to send pictures and videos of yourself invisibly through the air, and it would land into somebody else's pocket, into somebody else's phone. They would think you were crazy.
It'd be like,
they would think, no way. They would look at their landline, their landline rotary phone and think, yeah, right, you think you're crazy. But like now, that's just that's the
and
norm.
then they're gonna wait and
There's billions of those.
and then they're
happening
gonna
a
wait
second
when
ago.
they're an old man. You're like, do you remember? I remember that man that told me about the sending videos and pictures, and he was right about that. And then like the person that time traveled is still gonna be that age. Is still gonna be the same age he was now, and he's gonna tell him, "I told you, isn't it crazy, right?" And then the old person's gonna be like, "Yeah, it is crazy. I never thought that was gonna ever be possible."
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. In 2015, we're already supposed to have flying cars and hoverboards.
We already,
jetpacks and laser beams. And
well,
all
we
that stuff.
already have laser beams and jetpacks, and we
Yeah.
kind of already have hoverboards a little, but not.
Yeah,
they
it's
could
not
hu-
the same though. It
No.
doesn't really fly on the.
No, but they have a few, but they're really rare.
Well-
They don't go up real high. They're like this high from the ground, via magnet. And flying cars were invented, but they just haven't made it publicly sold because it takes way too much gas and it's gonna be way too much. It's gonna be more expensive than the most expensive car in the world. And
Yeah,
no one's gonna be able to afford it.
yeah. I guess you're right about that. That there are some flying cars, and there are some jetpacks, and there are some
Laser
hoverboards. I've seen them. That's true. That
and
that
lasers.
use magnets. There are some lasers, and all that stuff. But I'm just trying to get this to go sideways. I don't know if I can, but anyway, there are those things, but they're really expensive and they're really rare right now. Whether or not people are actually going to use them in the future, more
Like maybe
as a
in 2100 they're gonna be as common as cars.
yeah.
Like normal little.
But we don't have those things, but we still have other things, though. And we have other things to look forward to. I mean,
like airplanes. I mean,
it's probably going to be texting ourselves and
texting your like online shopping, but it's not the same. You don't have to wait for it to come in the mail. Oh, you buy it, you have to pay for it, and then right after it just appears right at the door, and you take it out
yeah.
without having to go anywhere.
So
I don't know how they would do it, but it could be possible.
So let's get into some more philosophical subjects. So that because you see, I studied philosophy, psychology, and for 15 years. Got a degree in psychology, degree in philosophy, a master's in philosophy, all this stuff like that. But there are some philosophical conclusions that I've only come to in recent times that my son has already come to. Or either he has already come to advance to that level, or I used to already know that and I forgot, and then I forgot, and then I remembered. And actually, Plato says that you don't.
Who's Plato?
Oh, Plato is one of the first philosophers ever from ancient Greece. He's basically. It's almost like all philosophy has followed from him. He's like the grand philosopher of all time. And
The video is still recording, right?
yep. And so what he said was that everybody already knows everything. We just have to remember it. So it's forgotten, but we remember it.
We knew everything when you're really young.
Well, I don't. He doesn't mean like that. He means that you don't learn anything new. But what you do when you're learning something new, you think you're learning something new, you're really just remembering it. It's already kind of like stored in your brain somewhere, and you're kind of remembering it or retrieving it, and it actually isn't brand new.
It's kind of like Depends on like if you learn it when you're like really young, or and then you remember it.
Well,
It's kind of like learning a new language. You know, like all the languages, but you forget every word. And when you learn a new one, you remember all the words.
yeah. So, so some of the things that Slade has come revealed to me, some of his revelations or thoughts. Well, I guess we'll talk about it. So, what do you think? What do you think is the meaning of life?
To try to be as happy as you can, and then try to have
You could think about it too. You don't have to answer right away.
a
Think about it a little
family
bit.
and
Yeah.
love people
Yeah.
and live your and explore as much as you can of the earth,
Yeah.
and try to live your life at the fullest.
Yeah. That's pretty good. And what do you think God is?
Everything. He's everything.
So God is just like everything. It's the wood, it's the rocks, it's the water, it's the clouds, everything.
All
or-
natural things that come. Everything comes from something natural.
Oh,
Like it all comes.
too close.
It all comes from like wood and dirt, and like the statue right there comes from like rocks, and he's everything that's natural, and then so that makes him everything.
Yeah. What do you? Okay.
Because everything's made out of something natural. Like even cars are made out of something natural.
I know, but just I think the same thing. But I wonder, does he, she, or it have a face, or have a face?
I was thinking he does, and he kind of looks like us, and he wanted to make an animal that looked like him, or smarter than all the other animals. They all look different, and we're special, and we're different from every other animal.
Yeah, that's pretty good. That's what it does seem to be like. We're like half God, half animals.
Because
we
we're
are
like smart and we can create things.
It's strange, like because we are mammals.
We
just
learn languages that are not like bark bark.
Yeah.
Neon. Every single word is different.
Yeah, like we have hair, skin, teeth, nails, just like every other mammal, just like cats, just like deer.
Your hair is like the little. Hair is basically the barely. Like it grows on all your body, so it's like fur, and then it grows, but it doesn't grow as fast, or it doesn't grow as much, it's kind of like an animal fur on your head.
Yeah. Yeah.
You have warm blood like mammals.
Yep. So
And we give live birth.
yeah. Hair, skin, teeth, nails give live birth, all that stuff. But at the same time, we have like this. We're leagues and leagues and leagues and leagues above in intelligence compared to other animals. Like most other animals don't even know that they're gonna die one day, or they don't even know. They don't have a concept of mortality. They don't have a concept
They know.
of
They
outer
probably
space.
don't even know what death really is, and they just try to eat. And they maybe know what death is, but they don't know. They try to survive, but they don't know that they're gonna die no matter what happens to them.
Yeah, and it's like leagues and leagues. It's almost like gods or aliens mixed with animals or something. Like maybe
But are aliens really are aliens even real?
oh well, I mean, no one knows for 100% sure, but with
Because a
all
lot
the
of videos have proof, but a lot of those videos are fake, so you don't know which one's fake and which one's real. But most of them are probably fake, but a lot of them are real,
yeah, so I
and it could
mean,
lead to proof.
yeah, it could be.
But
I mean,
some of them could be real. It's kind of like the Loch Ness monster. People like the famous picture of the fake Loch Ness monster.
yeah.
That's real. It's real. It's not edited, but it's not a real thing called living.
Well, the thing is about that is that, um, say you look at UFO sighting footage, and and sometimes it looks really good. Like you could really and truly be looking at a UFO, but you wouldn't know for sure if it was
Real.
a film of a UFO, like a light or a plane or I don't know, some kind of glare or ball lightning.
But you know what'd be epic proof? If there's like this big ship in front of you, you walk in and there's 100% real aliens inside of there.
But then the thing is, when you told other people,
They probably not gonna believe you.
they would think that you were
And if you
You
record
know.
it, they're like, "Oh, those aliens are only people in costumes, and all that's fake."
they would
But-
think that you were having like hallucinations, or they think you were dreaming, or
But
you
if you're
just making
recording
up,
it,
or
if you're recording it, they're still gonna think it's fake. Some people are gonna think it's fake, and some are not gonna think it's fake. And some people are gonna be confused and not gonna know what it is.
yeah. Well, one of my favorite,
Or they're not gonna know what they think it's gonna is, or whatever.
I mean, I'm like, I am personally 100% sure that there's other life out in the universe, because I mean, there's millions and billions of stars and
But
billions
there
and
is
billions of galaxies and
100%.
trillions and trillions
There's
of planets, I'm
100%
sure.
other living things, but it's not really aliens. It's like cells that grow, but that's different.
But the
and all
thing
that.
is, if there are other alien life forms that are visiting us, it's probably true. It's probably happened. I kind of believe in Roswell, and I kind of believe in. There's some people that are on the internet that talk about, I was there at Roswell, and now I'm about to die. I'm old, I'm about to die, whatever. And I'm telling you, it's true. I'm telling you, but still, to me, until they come down, announce themselves, and I really think that would be the greatest event in all of human history, is if aliens came down and announced themselves and hey, well, what's the word? Announce themselves, and we got to meet them and hang out, mingle, kind of thing. I think that would be the greatest event in all of human history. That would
Gathering.
That would
like
turn.
they gather up.
Introduce themselves. What I meant to say. They would turn. I mean, that would turn so much of so many beliefs, world beliefs, upside down on its head.
It's a pile of goo. It's a whole bunch of different goo, and you have different beliefs. And then if that happens, it's just taking them all and mixing them all up and then throwing it on the ground
Definitely.
and picking it up.
Yeah. And then so, I mean, that would just because that's never happened, and people have wondered about other life forms living out in the stars forever, and even me, or everyone pretty much, looks into the stars at night and thinks like, what is that? Like, points to that star. Or, what is that?
Like,
What's that right there? What is
especially
that?
when I see some lights moving, I'm always thinking about alien UFO.
Yeah.
But it's only like an airplane. But you never know, it might actually be one, but it's so far you can't tell, and you think it's just a helicopter or airplane because that's common to see one at night like that, but it might be UFO. Some airplanes might be filled with aliens trying to disguise themselves.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, you never know. I mean, there's theories that the government has been communicating with aliens for a long time now. And there's even a theory that because of the Roswell crash, that's how we got sonar and radar and laser and all kind of like stealth.
What's the rod or whatever
Roswell incident is
Roswell.
I think it was in the 40s when don't on my phone. I think it was in the 40s whenever a UFO. Well, it's kind of a long story, but a UFO crashed, a quote unquote UFO crashed
Yeah.
in New Mexico, and a farmer found it, and the military came and found a crashed UFO with some aliens on some supposedly 2 or 3 were dead. I'm probably getting these facts wrong because I don't have anything to look them up right now, but
From what you remember.
but 2 or 3, a few aliens, a couple of them were dead. One was actually supposed to still live. One supposedly lived, and they questioned him a lot, and he stayed alive for a while. So when the crash first happened, and there are people like who lived in the area who claimed to have seen it with their own eyes, and seen people who worked in the military and also who claimed to have seen the alien with their own eyes, and they admit it to this day. But anyway, the government, the first day, they said we found an alien spacecraft. Then right after that, they recanted and said no, it wasn't an alien spacecraft. It was a weather balloon. It was a weather balloon used for scientific.
But what was the aliens inside it?
Yeah, but see, they said that it wasn't an alien spacecraft. So first the government said it wasn't an alien spacecraft. We found aliens. Then they're always trying to cover up certain stuff that's
That's
like,
been spread out.
like say if the
That's
government
like it wasn't.
say if the U.S. government found aliens and they were able to get technology from them, they wouldn't want the rest of the countries to know about it because they can.
It's kind of like a dog in a cage, and then the people don't want to see it or don't want it out, and then it gets lost, and then the government's trying to hide it and make up excuses.
Yeah.
To try to say that what happened, why like the dog's there, why the dog isn't there.
It could even be the case that that's how the United States is so more advanced than a lot of other countries, is because of the technology that we gained from there. That's sonar, radar, laser, stealth, all these types. There's a whole list of technologies one man wrote a whole book about, but maybe that was a good jumping point for us at a certain time to advance us so much further ahead of the rest of other countries. So let's see. Yeah, so the thing is, like, man, you are going to experience in your lifetime technological computer advances that were going to be beyond imagination. For instance, they think that in 20 years, maybe even less, but in 20 years for sure, virtual reality is going to be completely indistinguishable from this reality.
So when I'm only 28, like as old as Jacksepticeye, he's 26.
Yeah, and like Pierce, your little brother and sister, who are 3 and 2. Pierce is 3 and Blair's
Blair
2.
is gonna experience
Even
the most.
a little bit even more, maybe.
It depends on. It really depends. It depends on when we die. It depends for when we die.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
Like,
I
let's
mean,
see.
as soon as you're born,
I really hope not. But let's say she dies at 83 and I live to be like 93. Let's not hope that, but if she does,
well, as soon as you're born, you're able to die. That's true. Anybody could die.
you could die in your mom's stomach.
Yep. Anybody can die at any time, but for a billion different reasons. But the technological advances are going to be,
Like,
you know, I mean,
way over the
virtual
top.
reality becomes indistinguishable from this reality.
It's,
You know, of course, there's also theories that this reality that we're experiencing is a computer simulation.
but we would just be robots. I was about to say we would be robots and we wouldn't have blood, but part of the computer part generated stuff could be our blood. Like our blood could also be virtual.
Yeah.
But
and the resolution is so high, like, you know,
but it could be
it's so
it's an
HD.
infinite loop of virtual reality. Because if they're watching over us, there's probably someone watching over this. So we're watching virtual reality of people watching virtual reality, of people watching virtual reality, of people watching virtual reality, of people watching virtual reality in an endless loop.
Yeah, that's really
Kind of like when you put when you put a phone up to a mirror.
Yeah, a mirror up to a mirror, you mean, or a phone too, but
Yeah.
especially a mirror up to. Oh yeah, that's really cool. Never really thought about that. Who's watching the people watching this computer simulation? That's why like everything is in. I don't
And
know.
then the
I
first
totally believe in infinity because it just seems like it has to be the case, you know.
on September 3rd, actually his birthday, September 3rd.
Oh.
We were
Yeah.
we were talking about, and can someone draw an infinite loop of circles or something? Like an
Yeah.
infinite loop of circles. If God drew it, the whole existence of everything, even beyond, because God is gonna live forever. If he was, or if he, she, or it, or if they,
Yeah. Could be they. That's right. That's right.
or if God drew, if he was a he, she, or they, if God drew an infinite loop of circles, he would never finish. There's no end. You cannot draw infinite anything.
Yeah. Even that's. Yeah. We talked about that. We said, there is no infinite. You can't draw in infinity. Not even God could draw infinity because infinity, if there is no beginning and there is no end, then starting or trying to master an infinity project would never be complete. It would never be completed. So therefore, it would never be infinite. You never can label it infinity, because it would never be a never-ending job. Like we talked about, if people drew circles from the time, if everyone who ever lived drew circles 24/7 to the time that they died, forever and ever and ever, since the beginning of human history.
Even
I mean, that would even
but
barely touch it. You know, even if God started from the beginning of time,
but
drawing circles.
from like when was God born? Who did was God ever born? If God made everything,
Who made God?
who made God?
Yeah, that is a good question.
Who made God? If
That-
God made everything, he couldn't have made himself, because he wouldn't have been a thing yet.
Well, that's what. That's why. There has to be infinity, because there has to be. Always has to be something before something. So God's like, who made God? God was always there.
Who made the person? Who made God? Who made the person? Who made the person? Who made God? Who made the person? Who made the person? Who made the person? Who made God? In an infinite loop.
Yeah. So even if God even if
God couldn't have just been there. He couldn't have just been there.
But let's just say, even if he was, for somehow, some way, was always just there, he still could not be infinity, because infinity hasn't come to an end yet, and by its definition never can or never will. And it had no beginning either. So I don't know. It gets.
But the beginning could be. Actually, there is no beginning, because there is numbers after zero in negative numbers, and then so it's adding on to. But if you really want to be basic, zero is really the start. But if you really want to be really deep into it, there is no start.
Well, you know what I like is that a circle is a sign of infinity, because a circle has no beginning and no end.
But that's the same with all the shapes. Like a square, you could do like this.
Oh, that's right.
In an infinite loop. A triangle.
Oh, or octagon.
Octagon. You could do it with any shape.
With this,
it could be a shape that's not even an actual common shape. It could be like this. Boop, 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 boop. A shape has to be something that's closed up. There can't be a gap in the line of a shape.
Yeah.
So any shape.
That's a very good point. Any shape can be infinite, not just a circle. So I've been thinking it was a circle this whole time. See, that's why I like to talk to my son Slade, because about philosophical matters, or even psychological matters too, because little kids are life before bills. So adults have to go to work. We know all this stuff when we're kids, and then we have to go to work. But also not to take away from his brilliance either. But so we know all this stuff when they're kids, and then some of us go to college, and then we're still in the experimental phases and learning about everything from the whole world, from A to Z, from the beginning of time.
But you can't learn everything about the universe.
And then when you start,
no one's never gonna know who created. No one even knows if God's even real.
No.
Can you see God?
It just takes.
You're not, because you're not really even. Because no human being's gonna ever see God.
Yeah.
Even you're not gonna see God when you're in heaven, because you're not a human when you're in heaven. You have the form of a human, but you're not human. A human has to be something on earth with skin and body parts and hair. But when you're in heaven, you're not on earth, and you don't really have all that. So you're technically not even human anymore in heaven.
Right.
So
They're
no
just
human, and you wouldn't be able to tell human beings what God looks like or give them a picture because you can't go back to Earth. And you probably could, but no one could see you, no one could hear you, and if you move something, no one's gonna see it move.
Yeah, no one knows whether or not they're.
No one's gonna see it move, even if they're staring where you are while you're quote unquote moving it.
No.
They're not gonna see it. You wouldn't be able to move anything really. Like you would trip on a leaf because it's just gonna stay frozen to you unless someone moves it, or you're just gonna go straight through it. But if you're
Yeah.
going straight through anything, you're just gonna fall through the earth and fall through everything,
Yeah.
and even fall through gravity.
Yeah.
Like fall through the ground. You're gonna fall through the dirt. You're gonna fall through the core of the earth. You're gonna fall through the earth.
Well, the only people who really truly know whether or not there is an afterlife are dead people, but they don't talk too much, you know. Like the only people they either know or they don't know because if they.
But a really crazy thing that hasn't, I don't think, happened in a long time. But some people have died, but came back to life, and they say that they see Jesus.
Oh yeah.
And some of them are like super sick and like die of like cancer or something. A kid died when he was like 3 years old. Died when he was like 3 years old, and then he came back to life perfectly healthy. There's nothing wrong with him.
Oh yeah.
He's like a normal person, and he
had like cancer or something like that.
Yeah, something really bad that killed him.
Oh.
That killed him.
Wow.
And then he was perfect.
Is that on YouTube or something?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm about to check that out. And he came back perfectly healthy and
then he lived a normal life.
Wow. What did he say that he saw?
He said he saw his great grandpa or his grandpa that he never got to meet.
Really?
And that he saw Jesus.
Oh. Cool. That's pretty interesting.
And I've been noticing that I could remember things from really long time ago. I remember it snowing when I was really young.
What about, do you remember it was snowing in Baton Rouge?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Oh, do you remember?
I remember what I was even wearing a green sweater.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. But you don't
Curly
remember?
hair.
You don't remember going to Montessori, huh?
I do remember going to Montessori.
A little bit.
Yeah.
You remember Miss Lopa, Miss Williams?
Yeah.
The
playground.
Yeah.
Those little house things.
Well, you see,
I remember like all the main people that were there. I actually remember one that wasn't there most of the time. I don't remember. Only remember like one's name.
well,
They had like a girl. They had a boy, another boy.
well, see,
And then another boy that was really bad. And they had like 2 dogs.
well,
And they always had that person that was upstairs.
well, see, the thing is about that is, I have some.
remember all the
I have a few memories too, like when I was Pierce's age,
But-
and I have a few memories. I have a few memories here and there from whenever I was a little kid, like a long time ago. But like 3, 4, 5, and all that stuff like that. And there are gonna be key stuff that you're gonna remember for the rest of your life. And there's some stuff that you remember that really you don't think, like, it's really not that memorable. You know, there's some stuff that you wish that you would remember, or that you think that you're going to remember forever, but you wind up not remembering. And then there's certain stuff that just, like, it doesn't make sense.
Weird
like,
little. I remember when I was like 3 years old, standing, looking at the playground down the hill
Yeah.
on the concrete
Yeah.
and all that.
Yeah, like one time for me and my wife both have this or me and mommy both have this clear
Mommy.
memory. Clear, I mean HD 4K clear memory of when
We always say that like real life is HD. It's the most possible HD something. It's not even HD because it's not a machine electronic screen.
Well, yeah, I know, but it's just funny. It's just a funny similarity. But so we both have this clear, perfectly crystal clear memory of when we were on our honeymoon in the Bahamas. And we got off a boat on an island, a beautiful island. We got off this
But how
boat.
am I supposed to remember that? Because I wasn't born. And that was in January.
No.
I wouldn't be able to remember that because I wasn't even born yet.
Well, I know, but I'm just saying that everybody has like these. We remember these weird things, like these things that. So we got off the boat on this beautiful island, this beautiful water, beautiful water, and what we remember.
Remember every little detail.
But what we remember is there was a used Band-Aid floating around in the water, and we both were looking at it, and I can remember to this day crystal clear. This used and that was like 10 years ago. There was like a used Band-Aid just floating around in the water. And we were and we both talked about it later.
But you know, it's one of the really crazy things.
It's like out of all the beautiful things, there's a
one
beautiful rainbow,
of the really
beautiful
crazy
water,
things.
in this beautiful paradise, but you remember floating used Band-Aid in the water, like clearer, more HD, clearer, and more like than anything else. But it's not like you tried to remember it on purpose.
You just remember it.
You just do. Like it just.
But you know, it's one of the really crazy things, and why I'm saying I could remember things from far away and when it's snowing. It's like a picture, but it's it's unusual picture.
Yeah.
It's not from first person view. It's from a different view next to me. I remember the detail, like, of what my eyes, I was doing like this against the window.
Yeah.
And I could see my back.
Where at?
Against the window.
At a park, you said?
No, in our apartment.
Oh.
Against the window, my hands like this.
Yeah.
You remember that?
No, not the same specific memory as you, but and you were looking down.
Yeah, I was looking down at all the snow, and they had like a snowman or something.
Yeah, I remember the time that it snowed though. The only time
I don't remember going out to play though. See, like you said, a Band-Aid. I remember looking out the window, but I don't remember actually playing in the snow.
Yeah.
I never even knew. I thought I was just, all I did was inside all day, and I never even knew that we ever went outside that day.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you played outside a lot that day. But see, that was what I was saying, is that it's so strange how I mean, the things that we remember, I don't know why that happens. There's just certain random memories that get sealed in your memory forever. Of course, when tragic events happen, like really intense, like getting a car wreck or a bad car wreck, or I don't know.
Or like when great-grandpa died. When great-grandpa, because he was alive my whole life.
Yeah? How'd you feel about that?
Really sad. I literally cried.
Oh, yeah. I heard about
But the music was the worst part. I didn't cry about anything else, but when that music started to play, that's when...
At the funeral.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the music started to play, that was the worst part.
Well, especially like being your age, just being at a funeral, seeing a dead body, is pretty, because when I was 9, my grandpa died.
But one of the But
I remember he liked you a lot though too, so.
One of the things is that he was alive my whole life, right?
Yeah.
Alive my whole life since I was born.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I don't remember him with legs though. Like.
Yeah. Well.
Because that was when I was newborn.
I remember when I was 9, my grandpa died. My mom's dad, and I wasn't even that close to him, but and I cried my eyes out so
But
hard. But it wasn't because I was close to him at all. It was just because it was the first time I seen a dead body. It was the first time I realized. I guess it's the first time I actually
really realize that
realized
everyone's gonna die.
that death
There's
is
no
real.
way.
And
There, it's like a gate, a big giant wall,
yeah,
and it's that wall's death, and you're really old, and you're right next to that wall after a really long journey, and there's no way to get past it. It's going across the whole and around the whole earth. Once you get to that point, there's no way to but to run straight into that wall.
yeah, yep, that's
But
true.
but when you get older, like 110, then that's when you go slower and slower on your journey. But when you don't even make it before you're out, you're like faster than Flash and like teleporting right next to the wall. Bumping.
Yeah,
You're basically born right against that wall. Like you're born right against that wall, and then but when you're gonna live really old, you're born real far from that wall, and then you go walk all the way there till you hit the wall, and there's no other way to go but you just run straight into the wall.
yeah. So I don't know. What are your views on reality?
Like what do you mean?
Yeah, what is reality? You know.
With life and
Yeah, like reality. Like, what do you think that, like, all of this, you know, what do you think all of this is? You know, it's all just reality, you know?
God.
Yeah, God. God is,
Reality.
like, every single thing.
Reality
Yeah.
is God's real name. Reality is God's real name.
Oh,
But
nice.
God is just one of the most common nicknames.
Oh, and this is what I've been wondering too. So,
But what about
how have you developed your views on God? How have you just came up with them on your own, or have you seen it from TV or books
from you and other people and books and all that?
But your main views, I haven't discussed too much with you
But-
about God because
But what about
I want you to develop
what
your
about
own
what about
views.
other other areas and other cultures that have different gods?
Yeah,
Like
right.
but those are not really gods. Those are really like Jesus's. God has like so many sons.
Oh, that's a good point.
And Jesus had like 7 billion kids.
Yeah, we're all children of God.
Yeah. Someone when I was in first grade said that me and him were brothers, but he said me and him were God brothers.
Oh, that's cool. That's nice. That's real nice. So, I guess we'll end on that and go to Slade's channel. What is it again? Tell him about it again.
Again,
On Slade's YouTube channel. Find it. What's the name?
it's called if you search the first Scroll Man all in one word, all in lowercase on YouTube, you'll find a channel called Slade. Click it. But unless you're already searching for it, you could just click the annotation somewhere on the screen.
Okay.
We haven't decided where to put it yet, but it's gonna be somewhere on the screen.
So subscribe to Slade's channel so you can hear more about all of this kind of stuff and just to see.
I don't really talk
and
about
just to
this.
see.
I don't really talk about this on my channel a lot, but sometimes you see how-tos and sometimes just random. I don't have a really have a topic for my channel. I just do there's some videos where the topic's gaming, some of it's people in blogs, and some of it's how to and style and all.
Yeah, you know, it's 8-year-old kid channels, you know, just all kind of different stuff, you know. It's just fun, silly, fun stuff, you know.
Yeah,
or stuff,
now
or stuff
and
to do with
soon.
more stuff to do with computer programming and programs and installations.
I did make a video about HTML. It's called How to Change Text on Someone Else's Video. But it's not, it's one of the old videos.
Yeah.
So try to find it. And but it's not permanent. It's not permanent like it. Don't worry, you're not hacking into a website and changing it. Cause you know how different YouTube would be. YouTube wouldn't even be YouTube. If you search up YouTube.com, it's probably just gonna be a blank page. Cause someone's changing it, and people are always changing it.
And that's a good point. And so check out my book, Eternal Conversations. The link is down below. Subscribe if you wish.
And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to like.
And listen to the Eternal Conversations podcast. And
if for some reason you can, maybe you could even download this video.
Yeah, and so
into MP3, and you could listen it.
Yeah, so
to it.
Yeah, right, on the website. Just hit the download link, and
you could go to. There's tons of websites. YouTube to MP4, YouTube to MP3, but find one that's accurately or acceptable, and maybe you
on my website though, there's gonna have download links. So
I know, but you don't have a website.